Welcome to iStar PMIS. Hi, my name is Tom Denai, and I am the founder and principal consultant of iStar PMIS and the author of the product iStar PMIS, a comprehensive project management information system. Today I'm going to be your host while we walk through the introduction to iStar PMIS tutorial. Not only are we going to review the PowerPoint introduction tutorial, we are also going to actually sign on to the iStar PMIS website, navigate to the training menu dialog where the 6 iStar PMIS PowerPoint tutorials are located, and then take the introduction to iStar PMIS tutorial. Close down our picture here. This is the home page of iStar PMIS LLC. Training hot link. Here we're going to sign on. Here we are at the iStar PMIS training menu. If you were to have purchased a certification program, your name would be displayed here, and here's your user ID. These are the PowerPoint presentations that you would want to take and have to take, and here's the tests associated with them, test statistics. You must have a score of 90% or greater on each of the sections to become certified. You may take the course and test as many times as you like. The intro to iStar PMIS hot link. And here we are. Welcome to the introduction to iStar PMIS presentation. iStar PMIS, pronounced iStar PMIS, is a comprehensive project management information system authored by a certified PMP with over 30 years of IT systems project experience. iStar PMIS is marketed by iStar PMIS LLC and may be ordered at www.istarpmis.com. Here's our home page of the website, www.istarpmis.com. iStar PMIS operates within a secure socket layer environment. It comes with it when you order it. And iStar PMIS is secured by a logon screen and individual dialog security. The top part of the table of contents correspond to the 47 processes set forth in a guide to the project management body of knowledge, PMBOK trademark, 5th edition, Project Management Institute, Inc. 2013. PMBOK is a trademark of the Project Management Institute. If you are unfamiliar with the Project Management Institute, I strongly recommend that you visit their website at www.pmi.org. Again, that's www.pmi.org. The Project Management Institute's website is an excellent source of educational materials for individuals interested in the field of project management and offers a certification program for you to become a certified project management professional. iStar PMIS LLC is not formally affiliated with the Project Management Institute. Beyond the fact that the author of the iStar PMIS product is a certified PMP, in good standing by the Project Management Institute, and has occasionally advertised in the Project Management Institute's magazine PM Network. The product iStar PMIS is dedicated to offering you the automated tools and infrastructure through an online web-enabled information system to help you work through the 47 processes recommended in the PMBOK guide. Keep in mind there is no one perfect way to manage a project. Many of the processes may be iterative, requiring progressive elaboration as the project proceeds. It is up to you as a project manager to decide the depth, intensity, and level of effort and detail that you are going to devote to each of the processes and tasks to complete your project. The product iStar PMIS was written to address the needs of the author as a project manager to have an automated system to support many of the project management processes. iStar PMIS is the dream toolbox of me, the author. The table of contents is composed of two parts. The upper part here, which are all hot links, and the lower part, which contains the dialogues associated with each one of these hot links. So let's start out with looking at the defined project charter. And we are directed to the dialogues associated with that particular process. Here's our processes along the left side, our dialogues are along the right side, and the question mark is the help screen associated with that dialogue. We will quickly page through the rest of the table of contents for you to get an idea of the structure of the product, the numbers of dialogues that we have supporting the processes. iStar PMIS was originally a timesheet expense report and status reporting system. That was the pilot project in order to test out the technology and whether we really liked what was going on the World Wide Web. We liked it so much that I decided to write an entire information system based on the technology available. For our introduction, we will work through the dialogues that are associated with the quick start. At a bare minimum, this is what you have to do to run the system, the project through the system. Here we have our first dialogue. Obviously, we need to define the project to the system. We do that through setting up a project charter. The structure of this screen is pretty much the same throughout the system. iStar PMIS trademark up top, the title, data elements that are stored, the action buttons, the message area here. The hot link is a hot link to the help screen. The question mark is a hot link to the help screen. Almost all of the dialogues have their own help screen. Page size toggles to an alternate screen display. Obviously, this is a rather abbreviated text box here. For some situations, you may want expanded. Statement of work running into multiple paragraphs into our pages. Because the screens are originally designed to fit into the screen area of your CRT or PC, we've got a page size here which will expand this area, and you'll be able to see the entire page then. Notice we've got a notes button. Here's a typical help screen. Here's the notes dialog. You can have different types of notes. You can search on those search types. Look at the employee administration dialog next. Obviously, we have to define the employees or the people that we're going to have work on the project. This is where we do that. You do not have to put the Social Security number in unless you can use the payroll option. The payroll option is optional, and you do not have to pay for it if you don't want it. The billing rate is used throughout the system to accumulate costs, not the wage rate. It's important you set that up. The user ID. This button takes us to the dialog where we maintain the password and the security levels for the individual. Next is the employee reports dialog. We have some reports that you can select. You canned reports. Take a look at different categorizations of employees. Look at the task manager dialog. If you are working an Agile Scrum project, you can now enter your product backlog as the tasks on the task manager screen. If you are using a more traditional waterfall methodology, iStar PMIS does have additional screens for requirements definition, milestone management, and work breakdown structures. The requirements definition dialogues offer the ability to do requirements traceability reporting, so you can track through the definition of the requirement through the completion of the tasks associated with that requirement. iStar PMIS does not mandate that you use either a waterfall approach and or Agile Scrum approach. Nothing in the product says you have to do either one or the other. You can use either one or the other, or a hybrid combination of the two. As you might expect, the Task Manager dialog is the centerpiece of the system with lots of buttons. We have the elements associated with the task, the action buttons, and when we have a lot of activity to be taking place off that particular dialog, we expand down into hot links in the bottom. Here we can see the hot links. Toggle to page size, employee assignments, milestone manager, requirements manager, task estimating manager, task checklist manager, work breakdown structure manager. All support. There's a note, checklist, PID number, supplier, or estimated associated with the task. You get a little identifier up in that attachments box. PID number stands for problem, issue, defect. There is a problem, issue, defect dialog that will aid you in tracking them through your project. The PID manager, supplier, perf buttons transfuse to those dialogs. Perf stands for performance. Checklist, estimate, audit, project task, and employee buttons all display pop-up menu reports. Here's an example of a task with a note and a checklist. If we select the checklist button, the checklist for this task is displayed. Here's our checklist. Yeah, it's been completed, the title of the item, who did it, date and time. Here's where we assign the task. Up to 3 additional people can be assigned individually. You can enter the word all to schedule the entire project team for a meeting. Do an all hands on deck. If you need help remembering, we have as a resource, pop-up report is available. Here's where we set up the budget for that particular task. Start date, finish date, hours, precision. Per estimate is calculated, labor cost is calculated for you. That's the hours times the billing rate for each of the people assigned to the project. Budgeted expenses are not calculated for you. That's where you enter in the out-of-pocket expenses for that task. The actual data is derived from the status reports and is updated at the time the status report is approved. We have the scheduling line. Scheduling parameters for the task are entered on the scheduling line. Here we have our available priorities. The scheduler will not schedule until the start date. If there is a prerequisite task, you define it in this box. If there is a prerequisite task, you define the scheduling parameters here, such as completed, completed plus, completed percentage, started, started plus. We also have the capability refine the schedule and schedule the task for a specific day of the week, 2 days of the week, 3 days of the week. To backlog it, take it off the schedule. Here's where you enter the complete plus, a percentage parameter. Enter the hours per day you wish to work the schedule. The percentage complete, estimate, finish, and etc. hours are updated from the primary person's assigned status report at approval time. In regards to the schedule, if the percentage complete and etc. hours are blank, the remaining budgeted hours, calculated as budgeted hours less actual hours, are used for scheduling purposes. If the task is in progress and the etc. hours are available, the etc. hours will be used for scheduling. If the etc. hours are not available but the percentage complete is, the percentage complete will be used to calculate the remaining effort. Let's look at the weekly timesheet parameters, holidays. The weekly timesheet parameters dialog defines the dates to be used on the timesheet status and expense reports. The cutoff date is used to define late submissions in timesheets. So for this particular week, timesheets for this week must be submitted prior to Monday at 8 a.m. If they're not, you have to go through a special approval process. That cutoff date is used to allow you, the manager, to review the status reports and timesheets, go through your assignments, and decide how you want to plan the next week. And then you set it active. Advanced will auto-calculate and fill in the weekdays for the next week. Update will make the dates active to the system and will capture the performance statistics for the week. Here are the holidays. The scheduler will use the holidays and not schedule tasks on those days. Take a quick look at the scheduler. Here's the schedule manager dialog. Notice that we are scheduling for an entire program, not just a single project. Fourth character in the unique identifier for the program or project identifies whether it is a program or project. G is for program, J is for project. We have some parameters here that the scheduler will work within: the number of hours in each workday, number of overtime hours, whether you're going to work on Saturday, various reports available. Start date starts on the Monday as defined by the weekly timesheet parameters. We have a couple of stop options. Days to assignments will tell the scheduler to accumulate the task and hours associated for the next 7 days for inclusion in the employee assignment screen. This is a drop-down box, so if you have a Scrum that is a session that is longer than 7 days, you can work with varying lengths. If you want to see all the projects in Prog 1001, we can do a quick pop-up. We got a listing of all the projects in Prog 1001. And all you have to do to get the schedule is press run. And here we have a basic schedule for the day, the date, the day, the project, the task identifier, who's got the task, the primary person on the task, the hours assigned. These are the out-of-pocket expenses that are expected, and the remaining time on the task. You'll see this work down through the schedule. On the bottom of the schedule, you'll see the summary of the tasks and hours to the employee. This is what's imported into the assignment dialog. Now we can assign the task for the week using the Manage Employee Assignments. As a manager, you're able to scroll through your employees, Fill from schedule will fill the employee assignment screen with the scheduled hours from the scheduler. Select update to make the assignments active. You can have multiple pages. You can also alter it manually. Do something different than the schedule if you feel a need to do that. Here's the employee assignment screen. This is what he sees. He sees the same thing that you assigned to him on the assignment screen. Obviously, this little description may not be descriptive enough in all cases. You want to see something more. You fill in the button here, press the expand button, and you're brought to the task manager screen where you can see the more details, where you're at, statistics, specifications. You want to go back, press the EA, and you're back. Employee assignment dialog. Here we are at the status report screen. These fields up here are auto-filled. These elements come from your weekly timesheet date parameter screen. System knows this because this comes from your sign-on identifier. Task hours are entered here. In addition to the actual task hours, you are also responsible for the percentage complete, the estimated time to complete, ETC hours, and ETC date. If your employees are kind enough to update this daily, then you can review what they've done daily. Tasks are all filled from the employee assignment screen. Task statistics are updated when the status report is approved. This is what drives the system. Here's the timesheet. My favorite button, the GTFS button. Press the button and shazam. The totals are summed from the status report by project number. Again, we have the weeks cut off here, so the employees know they've got to get this in before here. Dates are here, so you know what you're submitting on. And here's the person, which is populated by the sign-on. The end result is our EVM performance report. All of the earned value statistics are automatically calculated for you. When the weekly date parameters are updated, all of these statistics are stored for use in a snapshot. So if you want to download those into Microsoft Excel and look at them, you certainly can do that. See what's going on a week-by-week basis. I personally don't think it's necessary to do that. I think that the product iStar PMIS gives you more than enough analytical tools to understand what's going on. Some people like a dashboard style, a more visual representation. We got our gauges, number of hours left on the project, number of days to complete those hours, percentage completion, scheduled performance index, cost performance index. Here we see we're 100% complete. We're under budget by 204 hours, which shows up in the cost performance index. Burndown charts are available using the data captured by the status reports. There is a dialog called the chart generator that walks you through the process to prepare this chart. It is a color-coded chart. Blue is for the plan. Stays the same throughout the life of the project. Green is the forecast. Actuals come in as black, yellow, or red, depending upon whether you meet plan or less than plan. Whether you're less than 10% over is yellow, greater than 10% over is red. In this particular situation, we went red the first 3 weeks. We brought it back into line in the last 3 weeks. We actually went very positive, finished early. And the net positive cost variance is the 67 here, the difference between the plan and the total, or the green. We also have earned value charts. The colors do not change on the lines here. Plan value is always blue. Forecast is always light blue, turquoise. Green is earned value, actual cost is red. In this particular example, this is a finished project. We finished early, difference between here and here. And we have a positive cost variance denoted by that. If this were a project in process, you would have a forecast line mated with the earned value line. And they butt up against each other where the actuals have come into and where the forecast takes place. So this line would change color depending upon how much is forecast, how much is earned value. The red is actual hours spent, doesn't change. And neither the color doesn't change, and the blue color doesn't change. For those of you who absolutely have to have the Gantt chart in Microsoft Project, iStar PMIS has a download dialog available to interface. Some people just have to see that chart. We can do that. In some cases, depending upon the nature of your projects, you may decide you actually have to do the CPM critical path analysis that Microsoft Project offers. Let's take a look at the weekly Scrum. Weekly script menu. If you use Agile Scrum, you can easily adapt your Scrum sprint to the weekly script menu. If not, you still need to go through this process to gather project statistics, approve the status reports, and time sheets for the week. If you're in your Scrum sprint planning session at the beginning of the week, you can use the task manager and the schedule manager to interactively change the attributes of the task in terms of priorities, assignments, numbers of people assigned, and model the schedule to come up with something that your project team and you can agree on. And then you can run those assignments to the Manage Employee Assignment screen to have your documentation about what you agreed on. If you're at the very beginning of the project, you can use that same process. Load up the task manager with your backlog. Run the scheduler, given your initial parameters that you have, and see what's the forecast. What are you going to do? If it's a large backlog and you're in your initial planning session, you may want to use the milestone manager dialog to break it up into various milestones. You can do that. And obviously we have the charting capabilities to track that. And the sitemap. This is really an abbreviated sitemap, but it's the dialogues that tend to get used the most. I use this a lot. iStar PMIS remembers whether you access the sitemap, main menu, or table of contents the next time you log on. This concludes the introduction to iStar PMIS. Thank you for your time. www.istarpmis.com. Back to the training menu. Since we're here, let's take a quick look at the test. Simple test question, true or false. Designed to assess whether you comprehend what you have just watched. And sign off. Bring my picture back up. Say hello. Thank you for spending the time to take the Introduction to iStar PMIS tutorial. Keep in mind that we have only covered a few of the iStar PMIS dialogues available to help you with the management of your project. To gain a complete understanding and get the full benefit of iStar PMIS, you will need to take the series of 6 tutorials available that we showed you earlier. Also keep in mind that the use of iStar PMIS is complimentary for projects that are managed by iStar, the company, and me. And you can also order it as a standalone website at www.istarpms.com. One other point here I wish to emphasize: we will sell and customize this product for your company. If you're interested in building your own project management information system and like to get a head start, oftentimes if you purchase a system and tailor it, you can get 80 to 90% just what you want, and do the last 10% to get it tailored to your situation. We can give you that jump. We're more than willing to do so. Thank you very much for your time, and you have a great day.